Alrighty, back. Had an internet problem. I checked the internet, didn't see any problem with that. So I don't know if it was something on YouTube's end or what. But seems to be going now. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, wanting to learn how to business, trying to start our own business. Where were we? What happened so far was that the person has inconsistent shipping expenses. No, doesn't pay rent or mortgage. 21-year-old man, probably living at home with mommy and daddy. But somehow has $800 in expenses a month before accounting for any cost of goods for my business. Okay. And so your budget should not be combined with business. So the business, there should be a different business budget and a personal budget. That way you know all the business numbers and they're not skewed by your personal finances. So that way it's easier to tell out if you're making money or not. If you're putting it all together, it may be more difficult, especially if you have another job. And this was what, $20,000 profit this year, which could always change. Right. On track to make about 20,000 this year. So depends on also depends on how long ago you started. If that's going to be a year, an entire year of doing the business, 20,000, not a lot, not enough to live on. So sometimes I feel like for me, I spend too much on cost of goods to get good returns. However, in doing so, I end up letting my bank account drain all the way zero, being all the way to zero, being so addicted to getting a good deal. All right, well, let's learn the English language. Let's see. You wouldn't spend all of your personal money. See, that is again why you do that. Why you do separate business and personal accounting, so that you don't drain your bank account for your business to buy golf clubs to resell them. No savings and no emergency fund. You're doing it wrong. I just don't know how much money I should be putting aside for those things. You should have your emergency fund done before you start the business. You get your personal finances in order before starting the business. And then, like, even if you do continue to live home with mommy and daddy, as an adult, Mr. Ramsey does not advise that. But even if you can continue doing that, you still need to separate your. What up, Sid? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. You still need to have your business and personal accounting separate. So I just need another set of eyes from someone experienced on how they would approach my situation. And again, it's you do that, and you're not what you are doing when you grow business the right way. What you're doing is you can put all the 100% of the profit, as long as you don't need the money to live on. You can put 100% of the profit right back into the business to buy more golf clubs, I guess, used golf clubs. But you would not take your personal money and drain that down to zero. That's dumb as crap. And you also have to figure that because even though you made $20,000, that's not enough to be a full time job. Are you working another job? What else are you doing? And it's the whole the whole living with mommy and daddy thing, that's like a failure to launch here, and so we're not setting up a good precedent. So I would certainly talk to this person. If they were a client, I would talk to this person about that, about like being an adult and the need for being an adult, so you know how much things cost, and you know things like, oh, I should keep my business and personal money separate, things like that. But when you continue to live with mommy and daddy, the longer you do that, you don't know how the world works, because you don't have to take care of any of those things. You may not even know how much groceries cost. So, and of course, I would ask what this $800 a month is. You live with your parents. What are you paying for? Maybe chipping in for food or something like that. Who knows? Maybe paying a little bit of rent too. Who knows? So how to budget on, so this is different than, this is not the same question, how to budget on an inconsistent income, but you have two different budgets, your business one and your personal one. And the business should only get profit from the business, but if you need that to live on for this $800 a month, if this is your only job, then you're not making net profit of $20,000. And so, and of course, that's not enough. So many questions would be had for this person to do that. So yeah, but the inconsistent income, you would just do inconsistent, you would just do it, basically budget on the lowest amount that it would possibly be, and live on that. And then anything extra is gravy, and can, if you don't need it to live on, you can reinvest that into your business. You do not take it out of your personal savings account or your personal checking account. That is for your personal stuff. BCR ABL1, refinancing mortgage or no? Did we already do this one? They change position sometimes. So I bought my first home almost a year ago with a 30-year mortgage. Wrong. Bad. If you had to do a 30-year mortgage in order to be able to afford the monthly minimum payment, then you can't afford the house. Is about 25%. Oh, yeah. So yeah, you can't afford the house. You bought too much house. Your house poor, probably. 30-year mortgage and the monthly minimum payment is about 25% of my take-home pay. Yeah, the idea is, the Ramsey advice is that it's 25% of your take-home pay on a 15-year mortgage. I've been paying it down more aggressively following a 20-year payoff schedule. It should be a 15-year payoff schedule. And that cost me about 30%. Lately, mortgage rates are coming down, so I talked to some banks. I was offered a 10-year loan at a much lower rate, 6.8 versus 4.7. However, my monthly payment will now go up to a bit over 40% of my take-home pay. Yeah, you know why? Because you bought too much house. Should I refinance it or not? No, you should sell it. It's too much house. I'm tempted that I will save thousands in interest and build. You're not tempted that you will save that. You're tempted by the thought of you saving that. And interest and build equity a lot faster, but a bit worried about the high monthly payment. You bought too much house. 32 man, single, baby steps 4 and 6. Okay, that's great. You bought too much house. And I mean, maybe you can make it work. But if you cannot finance into, you don't have to do a 10, at least refinance into a 15. But also, maybe you just pay it off like a 15, and then you don't get a refinance fee, also known as closing costs. Anytime you redo a mortgage, you still get the closing costs, just like if you were just buying and selling it. But the best idea maybe would have to see all of your other numbers. The best idea here may be to sell the house because it's likely too much house. We definitely did this one. 31 man living in United Arab Emirates. Did we do it? No, we didn't. Wait a minute, did we? Trying to keep it short. Let me take a look at it to see if we did it. I remember figuring out UAE, what that meant. No, we didn't read this. Okay. New to investments except real estate, which I now dislike. Excess cash, needed advice. Okay, if you don't like real estate, then sell your properties. Easy, 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 easy. United Arab Emirates, wife, 2 kids, plus this 31-year-old man. Elderly parents are semi-independent for now, but still depend on me for significant financial expenses. They have no safety net, practically no insurance, pathetic pension. Their dependence on me will grow, right? And probably in the UAE, you probably are in a culture that feels like, oh, well, you have to do anything for parents. Even if they're dumb and they didn't plan for their retirement, because, and see, that's enabling your culture of, oh, we'll always take care of our parents. That enables parents to just spend all their money because they know children will take care of them in general. Some of them, I'm sure, move off the reservation on that. So that's a different thing, though. That's a whole separate category of problem. Net household income around $300,000 a year average. No tax burden. You don't have to pay taxes on that. Have some fully paid out properties in different countries. Is it because the government has plenty of money due to the oil? Is that why? They're paid off. Great. Always bought cash. Not always a good thing. Yes, it is. Quit being dumb. This is the Dave Ramsey subreddit here, and there's no debt. You do not buy business stuff, anything business, none of that should be on debt. No debt leverage. More on this below. Oh yeah, I bet you want a debt leverage. Let's see, total value $1.25 million, but less liquid market than the US. Takes 6 to 12 months to sell usually. Get them on the market now. Took a mortgage for a new primary residence. First time ever a mortgage is taken in my entire extended family in December. Yeah, so maybe you shouldn't have done that. You don't need to break new ground and do that. Just pay cash. Sell one of your things. You just wait. Sell one or more of your properties. You don't like real estate anymore, so sell them all and just pay cash for it. Dumb. Plan to pay out fully in total 3 years. Well, that's great, but you could have done it the other way and paid for it completely in cash. But no, you wanted it right now, right now, right now, right now. Purchase price $585. Current value probably around $650 to $700. Monthly payments $2,500 a month. $365,000 cash, mostly in deposits. What does that mean? What does that mean? Mostly in deposits. It's in your checking account, earning about 4%. Okay, don't know banks there. I don't know if you can get 4% on just a regular checking account, or maybe a special savings, or it's a high yield savings, and that's what he's talking about, mostly in deposits. But this mostly in deposits doesn't give me any information, because you can deposit cash into any type of account. Just recently started investing in markets, only $30K invested. This is all new to me. Come from very poor, war-torn, ex-communist background, so investment products are very strange to us, despite my education, travels, etc. Yeah, I mean, if they don't teach you about it, if that's not, if that's not in the zeitgeist there, then you wouldn't know about them. But hopefully, you are educating yourself on it now. Have a mental block / hurdle of reducing my cash reserves significantly. Well, and that's why you want to do debt leverage. And so that is not advised. So you can, again, do the dumb crap you want to do. And you don't have to compare yourself to the Ramsey advice. You can just do the dumbass crap you want to do in debt leverage if you want to do it. Last 3 generations have each faced problems, pogroms. Don't know what that is. So still can't overcome the irrational fear that we need to prepare for a catastrophe. Okay, maybe it's, I don't know if that's supposed to be problems or if that's an actual word. I don't know. But I understand it's also a dumb decision to keep too much cash. Okay, well, then you need to work with that in your head and get around and stop being dumb. Not being dumb is a good thing to do, to aspire to. Oh, it's genocide. Oh, okay. Thank you, Sid. Which I thought it might be something like that. A word. Or actually mean something. Need to do something about it. So if you know you need to do something about it, just do it. And if you know you need to do something and you're saying it's a need to do and you can't do it, then you need counseling. Then you need therapy. Real estate does not seem like a good move anymore. In other countries, I don't know. It seems fine in the United States, but market is going to be better for people that don't want to deal with real estate like I guess you don't. Not sure if it's worth paying off my mortgage more aggressively is the right move. Yes, it is, because you should have already paid it off instead of having all that cash around. Quit being dumb. Anyway, I'm quite aggressive with intention to pay off in 3 years total. You said that. Why don't you just pay it off now? Why do you got to wait 3 years? Also, afraid to significantly increase my stock market index fund investments to say 100K. I'm just started. I'm worried about the overheated market. Yes, I know timing is stupid, but I'm not able to be cold about it. Okay, well, see, your whole thing is that you know stuff to be true, and yet you can't embrace the truth of it and act on that. You're too scared about something. And so, sure, I mean, your upbringing, it sounds like it might have been very, very harsh. And so I get it, but that's why you would need counseling then. If you know something is the best thing to do, but you can't make yourself to do it, then you got problems. And so counseling again. Let's see, pogroms were the USSR, trying to eliminate certain backgrounds through various persecution. Gotcha. So should I push to tackle my mortgage more aggressively? Yes. Got some bullet points here. Don't want to pay off immediately, but could target 1 or 2 years. Why not pay it off immediately? What's the difference? You have the money. Paying off early will reduce my cash reserves while not really saving me that much. It will save you the mortgage payment each month if you pay it off. Stop being dumb. And you already admitted you don't want to be dumb. You're being dumb. If I pay off fully by the end of... Okay, see, we don't need to know all this stuff. The total paid interest. We don't need to know about that. that this stuff, the Ramsey creed motto, it's that whatever, is no debt and no debt leverage, and you have debt on the mortgage, and so that is allowed, but you do need to pay it off as soon as possible. You would not have enough to pay off the house in savings and not pay off the house if you're following the Ramsey advice. You're doing it wrong. If I don't tackle my mortgage, what else should I do? You should not tackle the mortgage. You should end the mortgage by paying it off completely right now. Real estate investments don't seem too attractive at the moment. Yeah, so sell the ones you have. Don't buy any more. Sell the ones you have. Easy. And then guess what? You can have all that cash laying around not doing anything. If you're on step 7, you can have as much cash stupidly laying around and not working for you. You can have all the extra cash you want there then, and once you're in step 7. But you're not in step 7 because you got a freaking mortgage when you could have just paid cash. At one point I thought of maybe buying a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom rental within my cash budget, but it seems like big risk for maybe 5 to 6% return on investment. Yeah, the market makes better than that. So why would you? At which point I might as well pay off my mortgage. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Also, doesn't seem to make sense to risk on capital appreciation of another property when my current property is in one of the best capital appreciation markets in the world. Don't do anything. Stick to mortgage repayment strategy. No, you change your life and you start doing things the Ramsey way. So, like, basically, none of this other stuff matters. This is like getting into the weeds here, probably. No public schools, so kids have to go to private school. See, none of that matters. None of that matters. None of this matters. Nothing matters except that you have the money to pay off your house now, so you freaking do it. Stop being dumb and do it. And if you need counseling in order to help you stop being dumb, do that. Don't look at this. Too late. Looked at it. Read it. Tax deductions and tithe if you are a Christian. And your charitable donations, tithe. If you are a Christian and your charitable donations, which is a tithe, if they do what? So there has to be more after that sentence. If you are a Christian and your charitable donations do what? So dumb. So dumb. So we'll just skip the next part after that sentence fragment. Do you personally take the deduction? Good question. I mean, you should, in order to take the deduction, you have to itemize, and itemizing isn't worth it for most people. Like it's, I can't remember what it is. It's less than 10% of people itemize these days, just because the standard deduction was made higher during the first Trump era. I know financially, yes, but I'm asking more spiritually. I don't know that God would have any problem with you doing something within that is allowable within tax law. I don't know that he would have any problem with that because you are tithing. And so I don't know about that. I don't think that would be a problem. So at least not with my idea of God. Difference by my math would be a tax return of $7,000 more if I do itemized deductions. I just do not know if I feel spiritually about getting money back from tithing. My name is Paul, and that's between y'all. Make up your mind. Edit. Thank you for the help. Just want a second opinion. I like the idea of getting the 7,000 back and tithing on that as well. Sure, knock yourself out. Oh, that is a good idea. That's a good compromise with yourself when you're arguing with yourself about it. That's a good way to do it. So I guess that makes you feel better about it. You are still getting money back, but the amount is going to be lower than what you're claiming, because the tax is only a percentage of that. Oh, that's how taxes work. And that's why you don't keep around your mortgage payment to send way much more money to the bank than you can claim on your taxes. So, dumb. Mr. Ramsey says, what does he say? So you're sending thousands of dollars to the bank or to the lender in order to save hundreds on your taxes. Something like that. Or dollars to pennies. I can't remember how he characterized it. That money still went to the church. God is fine with us playing by Caesar's rules. Would that be give Caesar what is what was it? Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's? I don't know, something like that. Help with investing, all right. J2 Trappy 69. Actively investing 15% of my income into a CIP private pension in the UK with a managed fund, as Dave Ramsey likes. With a managed fund, so if you actually get to pick the funds, and that is making at least what the index makes, 10 to 12%, then I guess that can count as the full percentage. But most pensions suck compared to the market, so they only count as half towards the Ramsey 15% of investing. As Dave Ramsey likes, but for my stocks and shares, you don't have stocks and shares if you're following the Ramsey advice. So that's going to be a no. For general investing for midlife, not retirement. I feel like for me, 5% of my income feels too small to amount to something in the future. Who said 5%? These are my current investments. Let me know what you think. S&P 500, of course. NASDAQ 100. That's not a managed fund, babe. Those are index funds. Index funds, not a managed fund. So you're doing it wrong. You're thinking about it wrong. And you see where you said, I feel like 5% of my income feels too small of an amount. Well, if you glance at the baby step, oh, look, I have it highlighted from before. It says freaking 15%. Have you not glanced at the baby steps ever? You're doing it wrong. So first, do everything right, and then ask for what is your other help. What your other help is to do it right. Quit being dumb. Oh, it says actively investing 15% of my income into. What is the 5%? So that's 15, and then 5%. Is 5% in going into ISA with other investing. You should not be doing any kind of other general investing. You should not be doing that unless you're in step 7. If you're on step 7, knock yourself out. If it's only making 5%, why would you do that instead of making at least 10% like the freaking S&P 500 index does? Why would you be doing that? Why would you be messing with single stocks and shares? If it doesn't make as much as the freaking S&P 500, that is dumb as crap. So I don't know what this person's problem is. Because of Caesar's face, give unto Caesar that which is Caesar's. That's what it is. Stepping over dollars to pick up nickels. That's right, Sid. That's what Mr. Ramsey says. Because it was Caesar's face on the money, so it was Caesar's money. Gotcha. Preya, 5K. My baby steps journey. Just want to share this with someone. Female, 24. I'm officially debt-free as of last week. Great. And I feel like, for me, this weight has been lifted off of me. It wasn't a lot of debt, about $5,000, but it still sucked having to pay those bills every month. Indeed. And it also meant you're doing it wrong if you have debt. And seeing my money leave my bank account almost before it went in. Indeed, I've been living paycheck to paycheck for years, and I have never had any extra money for saving, investing, or myself. And that's exactly why Mr. Ramsey doesn't want you to have any debt. And I don't either. That changes now. I saved up to $1,000. I paid off all my debt and have just started my emergency fund, which will be done in about 2 months. I work my ass off, and yes, sometimes I'm tired and it sucks, but being in debt and having no money sucks even more. That much is certain. My two main goals are saving as much money as possible for a down payment for a house still a few years away, and buying a dog next summer. I lost my dog and best friend of 8 years just 2 months ago, and I have been completely heartbroken. I really want a new dog, but I need time to grieve, and I want to feel like, for me, I really worked for it and earned it. It uses motivation for working hard and saving money. Really thankful for finding Dave Ramsey and his team and starting the baby steps. It has completely changed how I think about and view money. I will never go into debt again. I promise, Dave. Okay. Anyways, thanks for reading this. Not sure why I wrote and posted this here, but I'm proud of myself for committing to this and being on baby step 3 and starting baby step 4 in just a few months. And maybe this person does not know, but figured out that Dave was the no debt guy, so didn't do any dumbass crap like keeping cash around while she still had debt. Because that's dumb. I think even to be on this subreddit, why would you even be on this subreddit if not to troll, unless you were actually a fan of the Ramsey advice? Some people just go on places to disagree. And they crap all over everything, I guess. So baby step 3 flare there. But this person probably doesn't know, or might know, but deciding to invest anyway. If you want to save up a faster down payment, you can. And Mr. Ramsey just said this the other day. I think he said 3 or 4 years you can put off investing. I guess the younger you are, the longer it could theoretically be. But before, I just heard him say 2 years by putting off investing. And then he wants you back in investing. And that's your hack for living in a high cost of living area when you don't make a high cost of living salary. Alrighty, and I will be doing answering your financial questions stream at 8 p.m. Definitely one of Saturday and or Sunday, so maybe both of them, at least one of those days, and we'll be talking about, did anyone here pay off massive debt? Active duty. I know somebody that has. Or I know somebody's wife, and they both have. And we'll read into that. If you saved, how many of you saved a significant amount of money by not buying coffee drinks often? There's a lot of stuff that people like that would be in the same vein as coffee drinks, would be in the same category like that I don't buy. And so Yes, I have. I'm scared. 10K for monthly budget. All right, well, I'll read more into that. Staying home during baby steps. As far as not going out and, and when you see friends, if they think seeing friends means you have to spend $50, then you're not going to see those friends that day. Sarah needs advice. I'll get it. Norman is broke. Common sense is weird. That much is certain. Paid off my first 2 debts. All right, so we'll talk about these and more. But for now, I guess this is it. And let's go over the plugs. Once again, I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you, yes, you, are having money problems, or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me. I can tell you how dumb you're being. You can do that by emailing coachstevemoney@gmail.com. You can also use that email address for any questions about anything on my channel or anything else that's on your mind, financial coaching, anything else that's on your mind. Donations, paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, Cash App, $Coach Steve Money. Or Walmart gift card to that same email address, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams subject to change. And Ramsey Show Aftershow show. I don't know my schedule for next week, so I am not sure. We did Monday through Fridays this week. And answering your financial questions, as I said, Saturday and or Sunday for this coming weekend, like tomorrow and the next day. But beyond that, yeah, I don't know. In theory, if I don't do an after show on a weekday, I will normally do an 8 p.m. stream. The problem is if I am working a mid shift, I'm working before the after show would be over, and I don't get home until after 8 p.m. start time for the answering your financial questions, so I don't do one that day. But otherwise, I will do one or the other during the weekdays. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Don't be dumb.